Rendezvous, where the topics are priceless and the conversation is free. Lee and I are here today giving you a quick update on what we've got in store tomorrow. We're back for part 2 of Back to School. It's a good time of year, isn't it, Lee?
It is a good time of year. I sent my grandchildren off to school this week.
Oh, yeah? That's a little early, isn't it?
Well, they start early around here, and at the moment, I asked my grandson about masks, and he said, not right now, but we may have to. So
certainly it seems as though the kids are taking this more in stride than some of the adults.
Yes, they are. Very much so.
So, Lee, on the show this week, I think we're going to be picking up where we left off last week with Gigi Best. And we've also got Richard Morey's back with us in his vagabonding around New England looking for new treasures.
Richard seems to be having a really good time getting back on the road.
Yes, he does. And, New England in the summer is such a wonderful place.
Unlike Georgia in the summer.
Yeah, it kind of flip-flops come wintertime. All the snowbirds head on down to Georgia and Florida.
Well, for Florida, Georgia still gets some cool weather, and we have seasons here. But right now, it's noon and Friday, and we have 86 degrees already, and high humidity. It's like stepping into a steam bath. Ugly
with a capital Ugh.
Yes.
Lee, this week I saw somebody post on Instagram a picture of their brand new composition notebook. And it got me thinking about this time of year and how we would all go to Kmart or Target or Walmart and pick up our school supplies. And there was always that brand new composition notebook. Sometimes they were spiral bound. Sometimes they had the black mottled covers on the front. Wouldn't a collection of those things be grand to find someday?
Yes, it would. I have one that we'll talk about tomorrow that features Uncle Remus on the cover, but it's from around the 1930s. I don't think we'd find him today. We'd find the Avengers and Baby Yoda, Frozen, things like that.
Right. But, lately I've really gotten much more interested in collecting notebooks and journals. And I don't know, maybe it's a bit voyeuristic to look into the lives of the people in the past and follow them along with the notes that they've taken. But some of these journals can be very enlightening on our culture and our history.
Yes, they can. On the ephemera fair that starts today, I have some letters from Civil War soldiers describing what's going on in their camps, and a wonderful collection of letters from the 1880s from a woman in Alabama during post-war times about what's going on in her very small town. And it's a voyeuristic thing, and she complains at one point about she hadn't had a letter from her family, and she guessed they must be very busy or something.
A little bit of sarcasm there.
Right, there is some sarcasm there, and of course there's no cell phone or anything to contact the family, so she's waiting for letters.
That's quite a coincidence, Lee. I will also be showing in the ephemera fair this weekend, right, which begins tomorrow at 9:30 Pacific time, 12:30 Central.
But for members today.
And for members today. But I also have 2 Civil War letters and a packet of 90 letters from a woman in the late 1860s and 1870s. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of competition. The battling of the booths.
That's right.
Both of my soldiers were Union soldiers. One was encamped in Maryland, and the other was camped outside of the Fairfax courthouse in Virginia about 4 or 5 months before the move on Gettysburg.
Well, mine were 3 from Georgia, from Ackworth, Georgia, which is near Atlanta, and 2 were in Virginia, 1 in Fredericksburg, and 1 in Dumfries, and don't remember where the other one was, but they were all written to the same woman, the sister of one and a cousin of another, and so she kept the letters, intact. Yeah. Sure. But I also have a letter from a Union captain who was in the quartermaster's office, reporting to the quartermaster general after Appomattox. This was in May of 65.
About a month later.
Yeah, of of providing for the soldiers who were still at Resaca, and seemed to be tracking down somebody who had stolen something. And he seemed eager to get all of this settled. And it's on official stationery, which is kind of neat.
Cool. Very cool. What else we got on the show tomorrow? We've got David Hess from Orange Books in Orange, California. Always a pleasure. Could you imagine opening up the front cover of a book and finding a Civil War letter in it someday, Lee?
Oh, my goodness. No. We tend to find bookmarks and tickets and newspaper clippings and things like that, but very seldom anything that exciting.
Yeah, I know. One of these days, the ship's going to come in.
But David's are a lot of fun. And we have Gigi back. Gigi and I have been sharing stories about school and I think we talked some about our first days of school, or our days as children in school, and how that went.
Few things more romantic than nostalgia.
Yeah, that's true. That's
the
true.
Old days that we lived through always seem better than the days that we're living through today.
Well, I don't know. Some of them do, maybe, but
well, not if you had to go to the principal's office for a power.
No, and I don't have any desire to go back to, say, my 20s and early 30s. Those could be trying times, but yeah, you're right about that. You're right about
well,
that.
think about all the books you could go back and read that you left undone.
And think about if you went back to the 30s, all the books you could buy. We used to say, why didn't our mothers buy, like first editions of The Great Gatsby,
exactly,
or stuff like that? But they didn't. They bought Reader's Digest condensed books.
Whenever people bring me books to buy, people trying to sell their books, and the books show up and they're not in the condition that I would buy them in, I always use the Great Gatsby as an example, where a signed Great Gatsby with a dust jacket may go for $20,000 or $30,000. A Great Gatsby first edition without a dust jacket shrinks all the way down to under $2,000.
Yeah.
And people need to keep that in mind if they're book collectors. Those dust jackets are literally more than half the value of a book.
Right. When I took a course at Rare Book School from Tom Congleton, he said that if you have the Great Gatsby with the repaired, the dust jacket that had been hand repaired, hand redone, whatever it was they did, you could buy a condo in Florida. But I haven't seen any of those.
So also on the show this week is Mike Slicker. You must know Mike well. He's a fellow bookseller from the Southeast.
I'm so glad to see him.
Yeah, and he's going to have his granddaughter Grace joining us. Apparently, Grace is an aficionado of Nancy Drew. The classics just keep on giving, don't they?
Oh, they do. They do. And it's good to see her, too.
Look at that young lady, a bookseller of the future.
Well, she has certainly made the rounds at the Florida Book Fair in the past. She and Quentin both. And
scurrying around between everybody's legs under the tables?
Well, no. Coming around to look at books and being helpful to her mom. And gosh, she has grown because it's been 2 years since we've been down there.
Well, hopefully you'll see her again next April.
I hope.
Yeah. I see some other fairs are being canceled right now. Some of the live fairs that were going are beginning to slow down.
I had a doctor's appointment this morning, and when I was having blood drawn, the nurse who was doing it said they were seeing more and more cases. And
are you okay? Is everything routine, I hope?
Yeah. Well, actually, they had misscheduled my wellness check, and I have to wait 2 weeks to be paid for by insurance. So all I did was give a gallon of blood, But yeah, no, I'm okay.
Glad to hear that.
But they are all wearing masks. You sit in the car until you're called in. No one's sitting in the waiting room. They have not changed that, which is good. But still, it's scary, to think that we're about to start back up with what we had last year, that we may be. And our vaccination rate around here is just dreadful. So
all right, folks, let's pick it up. We want to get back to normal. Get out there and get poked by that needle.
That's right.
All right, everybody. I just want to remind you that tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern Time, our indomitable producer and engineer, Alan Smith, T. Alan Smith, nonetheless, will be dropping this week's show on Facebook, on YouTube, and on podcasts, wherever great podcasts are given away for free. Please log in and give us a listen. Otherwise, we're there all week, 24/7, to pull us down and let us infiltrate your ears.
And we'll have pictures of people's children and grandchildren on their first day of school.
Yippee-i-o-ki-yay. Let's see what that looks like. All right, until tomorrow, Lee.
Okay, see you then.
Keep smiling.